Okay, good afternoon. This is Peter Braboneria II, a student from the University of the Philippines. Okay, here's my ID for you. Okay, we're going to maximize, especially we have a very good weather for today. Okay, we're going to help you on how you could improve your resume. However, let me give you a context. Okay, if you're going to look at the way I wear, I'm wearing like I'm going to jog or having a physical education class, right? Because for today, we're going to discuss on how you could improve the resume, especially if you are going to apply, like for example, you're going to apply for a gym trainer, you're going to apply for physical education teacher or a yoga master. Okay, so it's very important that you improve your resume because employer, before they conduct their initial interview, they usually scan your resume. Okay, so that's, and also the resume should be a reflection of your best your best work experiences. Okay, so now let's move to our topic for today. So I'm going to emphasize three. Again, I'm going to emphasize number 3, the 3 tips for you in order for you to improve your resume. Tip number 1, okay? Tip number 1, the same with the number 1, so you have to have a one-page resume. This is advisable only for the newbies, okay? So you have to include there your, okay, your qualifications, okay? And if you really need a second page, you have to utilize like 10 to 12 lines. Okay, you have to utilize 10 to 12 lines on that one-page resume. Okay, and then you have to write the least important information about yourself on the second page. Okay, now let's move to the second tips on enhancing your resume. The second is highlighting the best of you. Okay, you have to put your qualification, especially if you're a fresh graduate, you have to include your past achievement. If you've been part of the student government, or if you were involved with a student organization, you have to write your qualification. Like for example, your teaching experiences, your practicum experiences, like including like 10 to 20 or 20 to 30 students per class. You were given an opportunity to handle like 3 to 5 classes. You have to be specific with that. Okay, you have to write it there. And also, if you are skilled with the computers, if you had experiences with leadership skills, you have to include that. You have to highlight those qualifications on your resume. And lastly, be specific or the importance of concrete details. Okay, so do not just write your status or your position. Okay, you also have to be very specific. Like for example, you write your status, your position, physical education teacher / and then you're going to write the school. Like for example, you had a practicum at the University of the Philippines Integrated School. You have to write it there. And then you also have to write the dates, like from April 2019 to April 2020. And then you also have to be specific how many students did you handle. Like for example, as I've said earlier, like 10 to 20 to 30 students per class. You have to specify how many classes did you handle. Please look at the viewer. Okay, so you'll be able to see that on the screen. Okay, so now we invited a guest learner. He is a TV editor for GMA7, for Shepherd's Voice publication, for radio and TV, and for Wildfire. Now let's have James Bardas. Hello, James.
Hello, Peter. Hello out there. Hello, people out there.
Please introduce yourself, brother.
Hello, this is James. I've been working with various TV production staff, just as GMA7, Wildfire Incorporated, as well we work with Shepherd's Voice Radio and TV productions. So right now I'm doing freelance work as a post-production staff, is either video editor or video graphic artist. But I'm also involved in video stuff or video production stuff, like a doing shoots, doing location hunting, as well setup of the set or the studio that we will use during the shoot.
Wow, James, that is a great work. Okay. He's very versatile. Okay, in terms of multimedia related works. Okay. Earlier I discussed about the 3 tips on improving the resume, and let's have a context on this discussion. You're going to look for like employers or employees for your production. Like you're going to look for like sports TV host. What can you learn from the tips that I had given for today?
One of the things that I've learned today is that if you're a sports host, or you're wish to apply to a certain media company, and you want to present as a sports host or sportscaster, you need to consider these things. First of all, you need your resume to be 1 or 2 pages. Lesser or more than that, it makes confusing, or makes your employer to be not necessarily consider you as their new employee. Second is you need to be specific. You need to be concise. What are the things that you need to present to your prospect employer, so that your employer or your prospect employer will become impressed of what the things that you have done, or your experiences that, or the things that you have achieved before, prior to your application.
That's correct. Actually, especially if you're a fresh graduate, you're new to this media industry,
Yes.
like for TV hosting, for sports or sportscasting, you really have to just have 1 page resume, especially you don't have a lot of experiences yet. Okay, but later, once you have a there's nothing wrong, okay? There's nothing wrong about having a multiple pages on resume, but they were only advisable if you had a gigantic, okay, humongous experiences in the yes, that's from Brother Bo, right? Humongous experience. That's the time that you can write multiple pages in your portfolio, okay? James Bardos, TV editor from GMA7, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to have this interview, and thank you also for your reflection with regards to our discussions for today. We're going to say goodbye now. Again, my name is Peter Breboneri II from the students of the University of the Philippines. Have a nice day and goodbye!